Yeah.
Hey, boys and girls! Squee913 here, along with Sparta, Piff0, and Apothic, and welcome...
Yo.
Oh, right, I should probably let you guys say hi or something.
Yeah, man.
Hey, y'all.
Sup, Holmes?
And
Tell
welcome,
say hello.
welcome to Week 1 of Season 2 of Dragon Ball Z League pregame show! Yay!
Hey!
Yeah.
Yay! So, anyone who's watching the stream or watching this on YouTube, yes, I know there's no picture, or for YouTube I'll probably put some Dragon Ball Z picture or whatever. Think of this more as a podcast. So, put this on in the background, do whatever you want to do, go look at your pony porn or whatever you kids are watching these days.
Was that towards me?
I don't know.
Damn it.
I don't know what you kids are into these days. I don't know, so whatever.
I resent you calling me a kid, and I guess also Piff. I resent you calling him a kid too.
You guys aren't... I wasn't talking to any of you. If you guys put this in the background, I'll murder every single one of you. You're part of the show.
No.
You don't put yourselves in the background. That's crazy. I was talking to the audience.
I'm just gonna blend in with this wall.
I'm just going to sit, like, across from Squee, and very close.
Okay.
I will not be in the way.
Okay, I don't know if this is going to be something we do every week. We're thinking about trying to do like a sports show every week where we talk about things like this, but who knows. But for now, since this is the start of Season 2, we're definitely doing this to... the object of this podcast, mostly, it's all going to be about Dragon Ball Z League. What's happened since Season 1 ended, who switched teams, what new teams there are, and what we think is going to happen in Season 2, Week 1. We're going to do... Everyone here is going to do picks. So we're going to keep track of, who had the best picks or whatnot. No, we probably won't because that's a lot of work. But we're each going to have picks.
That's a lot of work. Somebody else who's not involved with this do that.
Right. We're going to talk a lot about teams, who we think is going to do well, what advantages teams have, things like that. And we're going to examine tonight's matches and try and give you guys a sneak peek of what we think is going to happen. So, I was going to try and take some guest callers, but then I realized that would be giving my Skype name to, like, a lot of people.
Indeed.
So, I probably won't do that. It's not that I don't love you guys and love talking to you guys, but if I have more people than already, I already can't sign into Skype without 6 people wanting to talk, which is not a bad thing, but I never get anything done. So we'll forgo the guest callers and just talk to us through chat. What we'll do is we will constantly be, if you have a question, just ask it on the chat. That's what we'll do. Alright?
Alright.
Squee, is it true Krillin got 18 pregnant? Yes, because they definitely did not adopt Meryl. So, and this is something... This is something that a lot of people... I guess this could also deal with Dragon Ball Z lore. 18 is not a complete metallic android. She is a cyborg. She and her brother 17 were actual teenage runaways that Dr. Gero kidnapped and augmented to become androids. So she still had all her working parts. A lot of people say that she was a pure android and then the dragon made her human. No, that's not true. The dragon could not do that. All the dragon did was take out their self-destruct device. But she still had her ovaries and such. So
I thought this was a kid's show. What the hell happened?
No.
Vegeta happened.
Yeah, Vegeta. Yes, Vegeta happened to 18. What?
No. That relationship with Vegeta and Bulma, not a kid show thing.
That is definitely true.
Also, Vegeta's relationship with Trunks, not a kid show thing.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely wasn't the best father in the world.
Vegeta had the tough love thing, minus the love.
Daddy, you really love me inside. Big Bang attack! Oh, good times, good times. So, why don't we go ahead and get started with what changes have been. For anyone who hasn't followed the off-season, who just kind of stopped at the end of Season 1, let's talk about some of the big changes within Dragon Ball Z League, the makeup, the teams, and let's start with the new teams. In Season 1, we had 12 teams. In Season 2, we have 16 teams. So what happened?
Well, you added 4. I can do math, thank you.
Well, hold on. There's more to it. There were
I
a
doubt
lot
that.
of teams. I think there were like 10 teams that people could vote on. I don't remember if it was 10.
It was 8.
And
Yeah.
8, whatever. The top 4 got voted in by popular vote, just whoever voted for the most across like the 8 teams. The top 4 got put in, and that was the Rugrats, the Blades. Oh God.
Okay,
Dragon Ball's Heroes.
Dragon
and-
Ball's villains.
Oh yeah, and Team Derp.
And the little monsters.
Oh, I was talking about who made it.
Okay. Yeah.
Who cares about them? They're gone.
I actually thought
dead.
it was going to be a lot closer vote. I thought there'd be a lot of people who wanted to see like the little monsters or Dragon Ball villains.
Well, you were really wrong about that one.
I know. Well, I was thinking that people would want Dragon Ball heroes and Dragon Ball villains just because of the natural rivalry that would bring.
Nah,
but
man. Nah.
but apparently not. No.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So the new teams are the Blades, which is everyone who, or not everyone, but everyone on the team uses a sword at least a little. Most of them actually use it quite a bit. I mean, if you think like Yajirobe,
them in their regular combos.
right,
So.
right, and definitely not the only people with swords. I know Deborah uses a sword. There's a couple other people, aren't there?
King Cold has a sword in his ultimate, but eh.
Yeah. So. But yeah, and then there's the Rugrats, which are all kids, and which includes GT Goku, even though that's kind of debatable if he's a kid or not. But he is a kid. It's still a kid's body, right?
Unless he transforms into Super Saiyan 4,
Which would be fantastic if we ever see that in this league.
that'd be funny. And also, Team Rugrats had a change before the season even started. They got
Yes, they did.
Pan because Pan was dropped off the Valkyries for.
Well, I was gonna get to that later, but thank you.
Yeah, it's relevant.
It is true, very relevant. We have Dragon Ball Heroes, which is all characters from Dragon Ball. And actually, they almost had a change too. I'm actually a little surprised. I'm surprised they didn't pick up early Goku, because if you saw that test match, holy crap, where did that come from? Did you
Honestly,
guys?
if I was the coach, I would totally pick him up.
Yeah, did you guys see the test match?
Yes, I did.
He obliterated Gohan both times.
Spirit Bomb.
I
He
just
just likes beating children.
I guess
Everybody likes beating children.
it wasn't, but it was his grandpa.
Everybody likes beating old people too.
You know how insulting is that too? I've fallen and I can't get up. Come on.
It's not insulting. Old people do that all the time.
But yeah, so I'm a little surprised they didn't pick up early Goku. But
I am too, although I'm still kind of on the fence about if it matters or not. But I'm like, Dragon Ball's Heroes isn't that strong. I guess it could deserve somebody who's a bit better.
well, and I had a debate with myself on it. I was like, well, you know, most of his moves are from Dragon Ball Z, so what do you even count? But theoretically, it does count the Goku that fought Piccolo. So,
I know you don't have completely shoddy reasoning. It's just the moves. I'm like, yeah, Dragon Ball's Heroes isn't technically the strongest team, so
Right.
I think they could have early Goku, and it wouldn't be that bad.
Well, really, what snatched it for me is if we're gonna go with those arguments, what about all the people that have moves that aren't even in the show? That just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, because then, you know, King Cold had no moves whatsoever, so we can't really count all that. But so those are the new teams. Some interesting things to point out, especially Team Rugrats, is that Goten and Trunks, Kid Trunks, can fuse, and commonly, I think they fused every single match so far in the preseason.
Yes, they have.
They fuse into Gotenks, and because of that, we're having to limit their custom abilities to mirror each other. Otherwise, Gotenks would be a monster. An absolute monster.
I really didn't know. I didn't know the Portaras combined when you fused.
Well, we didn't know that either. And like you should have. You can't see, but you should have seen my face when I realized that. I was like, okay, so I put Dende's healing on one guy, and I put I forget what it was I put on the other guy, but something very obvious. And I was like, okay, so let's see whose Portaras they take, and then it takes both, and I'm like, oh, oh really? So, and that's another huge change from Season 1. In Season 1, the only thing that you were able to customize was what AI the player had. In Season 2, we have an entire list of custom abilities for every single player. which does everything from increasing your combo damage to other stuff.
Other stuff.
Other
Meaning
stuff.
lots of things.
Right, we have something like Dende's Healing, which will gradually restore health, which at first I wasn't going to use, but actually I think it was a good one to add in there because it adds a lot of depth to a build.
Yeah, it's not that much healing. It's not like one of the red Portaros, which is pretty good healing.
In the math I was doing in the preseason matches, it generally averaged out to about a health bar of extra health. And that's only if they manage to stay out for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a catch-22 because it could be an extra bar of health, or you could get beaten in 30 seconds flat and it could mean nothing.
Yeah,
so.
well, a lot of things are like that. Like
Right.
anything that boosts your power, you get taken out really fast, or just not use it, and then it's like, didn't matter.
There's also a couple of one-time use things, like for example, Savior, which is a really popular one, especially for my team, where when you tag out, the person who comes in full power mode.
I'm pretty sure that even if somebody's defeated and they come in, it's still...
Right, oh yeah, and it'll work multiple times too. It's just basically whenever they enter...
No. I was talking about, like, if somebody dies and then the person who comes in has Savior on, they'll also be in max power mode.
Right, it's anytime they step on the field, basically.
Yeah.
They'll be in max power mode. And what I'm loving about Dragon Ball Z League is the different mindsets of the different teams. Like, for example, I think this is a fantastic ability. I have it on, I think, 2 of my team. And then you'll go to, like, Team Valkyrie, where they're kind of the opinion where it's just a one-use thing, and it's better to use something that's constant, like, say, Indignation, which increases your defense steadily. So it's really, really interesting to go to the forums and see the different philosophies. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Indignation increases your superpower as you lose health.
Shut up.
I think lasting power is the other one.
It's latent. It's latent power.
Latent.
Yeah. It's me, guys. What do you expect?
This sports show has to be accurate.
I'm sorry. God. But no, it's really, really fun to go to the forums and look at the different teams and just see the different mindsets, see the different philosophies of what makes a good team. And it's really, really neat to see that added depth to that.
Do you like the depth and complexity of my team?
Everyone has pretty much the same thing except for 1 or 2 people.
It's catered to everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and you can really tell I put a lot of thought and effort into each character.
Okay, Biff. No, actually, you know what though? Even if yours is not, what should I say, incredibly diverse, it fits your team fairly well. So why not? I mean, there's something to be said for an unimaginative build that's solid. If someone went out there with just, say, Dende's Healing, launch support, and, say, Indignation, that's not very imaginative, but there's a reason why it's there. So, I mean,
well, I would certainly hope that people thought about the reasons for putting things on people.
Right.
This one looks pretty.
Though I wish Earth Defenders would debate with me more. Like, some people have these great debates on what should go where, and I get it looks good. Looks good. Yeah, just to go with that. Whatever.
It looks, just do that.
Just do that one. Whatever you said, I didn't really pay attention, but yeah, you got this. Go ahead. Like maybe next week I'm actually going to post, I think we should put Brawly's Ring and Flight on everyone, and I bet you I'll get, it looks good.
Good.
Piff, I'll give you some insight right now. Your list does look pretty good, although I would imagine that your starter may not want to have Savior on.
I got that from the guy that I told to shut up.
Sorry. Well, I'm just saying, May. You could do whatever you want. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't get your reasoning.
I have a plan, okay?
It could theoretically still help because
don't murder me, please.
Because if
you're dead.
If the starter does tag out and come back in,
I know.
Yes, I'll make another remind. Yes, guys, there's no video right now because this is more of a podcast. So this is just something to listen to and go about your physics reading on the internet, because we all know everyone's a physics major or pretends to be. I love internet debates because everyone's got a doctorate in everything. It's fantastic.
Everyone's an expert on everything.
Oh, yay! Lighter says if I do that, he'll unleash a torrent of rage and destruction on the forum. I'd love to see that.
I want to see it too. Do it.
Do it!
I will pay you like $5 if you do that.
I better go back up the forum. Be right back.
I will find your house, Lighter, and I will give you $5 if you do that.